Hello, it is the JMPXX here with another Destiny 2 video for you, my dudes. How is everybody doing today? Today, I'm going to be showing you guys a video on a brand new weapon that came with this season of the Wish. It's called the Scalar Potential, and it's actually a pretty nice pulse rifle for PvP. I was actually able to get all the red borders, and I was able to craft my very own perfect roll. And took it into the Crucible, and it was, it was actually pretty damn good for the hooks. For the origin trade, we have Dragon's Vengeance. Basically, one of your teammates passes out, or when you have your shields broken from an enemy, the weapon with this perk gains full magazine and grants bonus range, charge time depending on the weapon, and handling. I'm not sure how much of a bonus this gives you, but this is actually pretty damn handy in PvP. Now for the traits, I was using two different traits for this column here. I was switching between Golden Tricorn and Head Seeker. For Head Seeker, basically when you land body shots, it increases precision damage and it grants you a little bit of aim assist. And the enhanced version grants passive 5 stability. When I was using this in PvP, oh man, my shots felt really sticky. And I mean really sticky. But honestly, I think I prefer Golden Tricorn just because of the extra damage, making you take out players a little bit faster. Basically, when you eliminate a player with this weapon, you gain a 15% damage bonus for 7 seconds. And while you have that buff active, matching a grenade or powered melee kill grants you 50% damage in PvP for about 10 seconds. Now in PvP, I was using a Arc subclass to synergize with this perk. I only really procced it like once, to be honest with ya. Maybe it's just because the Titan and I didn't have much luck with the Titan Striker. The grenades were kind of booty cheek, and the Fist of Smash was actually kind of booty cheek as well. It was really slow. I don't remember Fist of Havoc being super slow, but whenever I was proccing this thing, or when I was using the super in PvP, my goodness, I felt like a slow turd. You know, when you're taking those dookies and they just come out really slow and they take forever to come out. Yeah, I was moving around like a potato. I don't know. I think they nerfed the mobility on this thing, but I honestly do not remember Fist of Havoc being this slow. And then we have Keep Away. Like I mentioned this in previous videos, this is a GOAT perk, granting you range, reload speed, and extra accuracy, as long as there's no enemies in 15 meters between you. We have steady rounds for the magazine, and then for the barrel we have arrowhead for that recoil direction and that little bit of handling, and then a stability masterwork. And of course I slap on a counterbalance mod because that would gain us an extra 15 recoil direction. And with that, those are the perks. Now the weapon in PvP actually performs really nicely with the setup that I have. In my opinion, you're better off going off with full stability instead of range. More stability seems to perform much better for these type of fast rate of fire pulse rifles, you know what I mean? You really don't want to have low stability on a fast rate of fire weapon. It's just gonna, it's gonna make it, it's gonna make it extremely difficult to control. So in my opinion, if you're on console, even on PC probably, because I know on PC though, on PC there's like different recoil patterns and whatnot and less recoil. Is that still a thing, by the way? I'm not even sure. But regardless, in my opinion, you should just go with like recoil direction and stability. With the roll that I have, you're going to be hitting up to 31.5 meters in PvP. Whenever Keep Away is proc, that is. You can't go wrong with either Head Seeker or Golden Tricorn. But like I mentioned before, Golden Tricorn is probably the better perk in my opinion, since it does decrease your time to kill, making you destroy the enemies a lot faster. And if you have a good Arc subclass setup for this weapon, you can actually synergize with Golden Tricorn really nicely. Outputting that 50% extra more bonus damage on this weapon is going to make it insane. And people in PvP are going to have no clue as to what the heck they just got destroyed by. And if you combine it with, let's say, Weapons of Light and or the Will of Radiance, and while you have Golden Tricorn times 2, oh my goodness, I haven't really thought about that, but Jesus, just how fast are you going to eliminate players if you have those two bonuses procced at once? I need to test that thing out. But overall, the weapon in PvP, I was actually doing pretty nice. Aside from the team shots, and sometimes I would get outranged by scout rifles. Surprisingly, people were using scout rifles in tryhard lobbies, just like the fast rate of fire ones, like the Randy's potato knife, but mostly hand cannons, just hand cannons, more hand cannons, and hand cannons. But surprisingly, I was doing pretty damn nice at close to mid-range, even a little bit further past that mid-range. It's a really nice weapon overall. I really love the design of these weapons. They look fantastic. They look kind of like dragons. like in your hands. You're wielding dragons in your hands. The first thing that comes to mind when I see these weapons is the Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! They just look really nice and slick, honestly. Oh, and before I forget, the sight on this thing is magnificent. It is such clear, just one little dot, and that's it. That's all you need, man. That's all you need for a sight. You don't need like 10 reticles in one reticle, you know what I mean? You don't need all that weird mumbo jumbo stuff. All you need is a simple, clean sight. That's it. And this weapon has that. Beautiful sight. And also, during my time using this weapon in PvP, I must have played at least like 10 plus matches with this weapon equipped. And I did not see a single player using this weapon. It might just be because nobody has it yet, where they are able to craft it, or they just don't have a good roll overall. But I'm surprised that I didn't really see any of these pulse rifles floating around in the PvPs. It's a really good pulse rifle, trust me. Aside from that, I don't really see this weapon being meta unless people figure out a really good synergy arc subclass to consistently proc that 2 times golden tricorn. Then yeah, we will be seeing this as meta. But honestly, it is up to you to experiment with the perks of this weapon. You can't craft it after all, but I didn't really find, there isn't really too many great perks on the weapon in my opinion, and the roll that I mentioned is probably the best roll that you can obtain on this weapon for PvP. But remember, most of the weapon reviews that I do are mainly for PvP. I'm not including PvE, so there might be a better roll for PvE, but this is probably, in my opinion, the best roll for PvP. But with all that said and done, my dudes, thank you guys for coming over and watching the video. This is a beautiful weapon. A very beautiful looking weapon. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe, and share the video around, as it does help the channel out. As we just started uploading to the YouTube, that will help us tremendously. But then again, my dudes, thank you guys for coming over, and until next time, later.